Ben Davison. Subscribe to Steward Icon.
Okay, so John Fury, the father of the WBC World Heavyweight Champion, the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, has hit out at Sugarhill Steward. And his tactics and the current Tyson will not beat Oleksandr Usyk, according to John Fury. This is what he had to say. The 17th of February is the date they've got to work towards for the Usyk fight. But in my opinion, Tyson needs a bit more time to get his conditioning right and his weight right. For me, it looks like he's lost 20 pounds of muscle last time. Something was wrong. For my money, his last 3 fights, I've seen a bit of a decline. Not a decline in ability, but a decline in strength, power and physical condition. I don't know what they were doing up there. You have to address it. He didn't look like himself out there in Saudi. He didn't look right. Everything had changed about him. His demeanour, his body. I was puzzled. He said he'd been training there, but there's training and then there's training. If you're going at your own pace, no one's going to tell you otherwise. No one's going to offend you or kick you at the backside. No one can teach Tyson how to box or teach him more than he knows. All they can do is put some muscle on there and make his body rock solid. For my money, he looked fat thin. He should have been better, a bit heavier, with a lot more muscle. Tyson is a mammoth fella. He needs to stand up to the body department, and the only way to do that is proper course, and they take time that we don't have. He still won the fight against Ngannou because that is what he does best. For my money, the tactics were all wrong too. You don't try to meet an express train head on, do you? He would have been better off boxing on the back foot, slipping and sliding. Against the old Tyson, Ngannou wouldn't have landed a glove on him. They kept missing this in the corner. They aren't looking at what the other man is doing. He needs to change it up. All of a sudden, they think one tactic works for all fighters, but it isn't like that. The style I'm seeing is no good. It won't be any use boxing Usyk like that, just stood in front of him. You have to be clever and agile, as much as Usyk is, but unless you are trained to do that, what can you say? Usyk is nowhere near as big and powerful as Ngannou, who is one of the hardest punchers in the world, but he's a skillful heavyweight and they need to practice for that. He's taking more punches now than he has in his whole career, and that could have shortened his career. That's the worry I've got there. Tyson is a remarkable man, but sometimes you need to listen to a bit of common sense. Usyk is a tricky man, and you have to be on your best to beat him, and the style he's got now won't do the trick. He's got it in his head, he can knock everyone's spark out, but no fighter in the world can keep taking big shots. You can't keep taking them because all of a sudden a jab can sit you down. You have to be clever, and the way he beats Usyk is more brain than brawn. John Fury's statement. So there's a few Easter eggs in that one. Fat thin is not really a word that I've heard before, but what John Fury's saying here is that he's in the decline, and I've been saying this for the past couple of years. You can see he's slowed down. And some Tyson Fury extremists, not his real fans, because he's got some quality fans, but his extremist fans have been saying, oh, Sporting Icons is hating on Tyson Fury, anything negative, yada, yada, yada. When that's not the case at all. I know what I'm looking at, and I can see he's not the same fighter. He doesn't move the same way. I don't know whether he's got problems with his legs, his knees, his back. Something is holding him back. The Tyson Fury who fought Vladimir Klitschko isn't there anymore. That's why when he came back, after that exceptional performance against Vladimir Klitschko, he had those 2.5 years out. He took on Seferi and Francesco Pianeta. Then he took on Wilder. And he nearly fell short against Wilder. But luckily for Fury, he's still got that elusiveness about him where he can ride most shots. Wilder is a one-trick pony, if we're being honest about it. And then he still tried to box that very same way against Otto Wallin. And look what happened. He got busted up, he got cut. Against Tom Schwartz, okay, that's a little bit of a different story. That was Tyson Fury coming forward. But Tyson recognised the way to beat Wilder is put it on him. Put him on the back foot. Wilder can't fight on the back foot. Negate that power shot, keep putting that jab, that left hand into the right shoulder of Wilder. He can't throw the shot with full power. Of course, he did get clipped once in a while, but Tyson, it's not the first time Tyson's been down in his career. He's been down multiple times. But the way that he fights now, the Kronk style, again, I've said this, the Kronk style is not how you beat Usyk. And this is kind of what I said when Anthony Joshua was fighting Usyk. People saying, gun forward, go for it, throw the kitchen sink, put everything at it in the first 5 or 6 rounds. Even Tyson Fury was saying the same thing. Pin him up against the ropes and crack away at his body. That's how you beat Usyk. Well, it's one thing saying it, it's another thing being able to do it. Usyk has seen all styles. The Kronk style that Tyson Fury currently has coming forward won't necessarily work. But Tyson's very, very clever inside that boxing ring, where he doesn't need a trainer, and the John Fury is correct. He doesn't need someone to teach him what to do. But he does need someone to reinforce certain tactics. Tyson can make adjustments on the fly. That's what Tyson's very good at. But when he fought Francis Ngannou, this is a guy who had his longest camp ever. That's what Tyson Fury said. Didn't he have between 12 and 16 weeks to fight for Francis Ngannou? And he turned up looking like he did when he fought Wilder the first time. He did look flabby. He did. The legs looked very, very thin, very gaunt. And he did look confused. He looked a little bit nervous against Ngannou. Maybe it's because Ngannou was doing something that he didn't expect. Maybe he thought he could just walk through him. And in theory, Fury should have been able to do that. But at the same time, this Tyson Fury is quite clearly recognised. That's why I say he's a very smart man. He recognised that he can't do the style that he'd done against Vladimir Klitschko. He can do it in spurts. He can do that. Of course, he kind of did that a little bit with Dillian Whyte. And when the opening was there, he let the hand go, okay, with that uppercut. But he couldn't bully Dillian Whyte the way that he did with Wilder. That's what I'm saying. He's very, very smart. He knows how to negate the ring. He knows what to do. But knowing what to do and being able to do it is two different things, especially when you've got somebody, a slippery customer, like a Oleksandr Usyk. But at the same time, Usyk's in the danger zone, because for Usyk to land punches, he's got to get in range, isn't he? In his own range. And his range is a lot shorter than what Tyson Fury's is. So Fury's going to have his moments in that fight, for sure. Now, I do feel John is saying this because he's desperate for that job. He's desperate to be in the corner of Tyson. He's wanted that job for a long, long time. That's why I feel like he's the reason why Ben Davison's not there anymore. We all know what he said about Ben Davison. It was horrible. And he's been saying the same thing about Sugarhill Steward over like the last fight or two, where Sugarhill is a Judas and whatever else. And now he's saying the same kind of thing. So with him going at Sugarhill Steward, calling him a Judas and insulting him, and he's going to put it on him and all that kind of stuff, which bollocks that he didn't. But it didn't work. Tyson didn't get rid of him. He ignored his dad. Now he's going down the tactics route. The man you've got in your corner doesn't know how to negate your opponent. He doesn't know how to break down your opponent stylistically and get you to beat your opponent using his tactics. Tyson's having to do that off his own cuff. And that's what John Fury's getting at here. Now, overall, yes, Tyson is on a decline. I've said it a long time. I've been saying it for the past couple of years. He's definitely on the decline. But not so much on the decline where he's finished. Not at all. But he's on the decline where he can't do what got him to this position to start with. He doesn't have the speed, the elusiveness. He's got it all upstairs in the brain, but his body isn't reacting the way that his brain still is. And it happens to everybody, okay? Listen, I know this. Once you hit past 40, you start aching in places you didn't realise that you could ache, okay? It's just what it is. And Tyson isn't too far away from that now. He isn't. And especially when you've had all the training camps. It's not the fight nights, it's the training camps. And Lord knows he'd have taken some punishment in those training camps. It's the early morning runs. He likes to go for a lot of runs. It's going to play havoc on the knees. That road work will vibrate to your knees, to your ankles, to your back. Something's going to give. And, he's already said that he's in a lot of pain sometimes. Now, is it the wrong time to fight Usyk? I don't know. They did agree on December 23rd. I think we all knew that weren't going to happen. That was in my opinion, a selling tool for the Ngannou fight. Try and get people to do that. Maybe have a face-off with Usyk at the end and whatever else. But because of what happened in the Ngannou fight, people are like, we don't really care, to be honest. Now, I don't believe Tyson Fury's over. His career's not at an end, but he ain't far off. He ain't far off. He's there And I've said it about quite a few fighters before. Like, I said it about Joshua. I said it about Wilder. I said it about Joe Joyce. I said it by quite a few people. They're going to get beaten. When you keep on taking tough opposition, and when you step up, you're going to get done. It's going to happen. And it'll happen when you don't expect it. Could this be against Usyk, as Fury will be the favourite? He's the bigger man. And you know the old saying, a good big man will always beat a good small man. Yes, if they're on a level playing field. But I don't think they are on a level playing field right now. And I'm not talking about anything to do with the Francis Ngannou fight. I'm talking about what I saw in that third fight with Wilder. With what I saw against Dillian Whyte until the stoppage. What I was seeing at times against Derek Chisora. Nothing to do with the Francis Ngannou one. That fight was just a throwaway fight. It didn't mean anything. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Listen, if anybody can turn it all around and put on a performance of a lifetime and beat an Usyk, it's going to be Tyson, isn't it? But will he do it? That's the question. February 17th, we'll find out. Will John Fury get his wish of being in the corner of Tyson instead of Sugarhill? We'll have to wait and see. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.